Here are the top stories for today, March 11, 2022. The government allows limited face-to-face classes in higher education institutions in areas under Alert Level 1, subject to certain rules as part of measures to ensure learning continuity amid the shift to the new normal. A sigh of relief, the Department of Budget and Management releases 3 billion pesos for fuel subsidies for the transport and agriculture sector to help cushion the impact of surging fuel prices. The Commission on Elections is set to recalibrate its rules on securing campaign rally permits amid clamors of candidates and the country's improving COVID-19 situation. And the Tourism Department is hopeful that the country will reopen to foreign tourists, citing the gains of the decision to welcome fully vaccinated tourists in February. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Face-to-face classes will resume among higher educational institutions that are situated in areas under the Alert Level 1. PCOO Undersecretary and Acting Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Chris Ablan says the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has approved the recommendations of the Commission on Higher Education or CHED, provided the participating schools will observe the following conditions.
Tanging fully vaccinated teaching, non-teaching at students ang pinapayagan sa lugar. Habang flexible learning modalities naman para sa unvaccinated or partially vaccinated students. Kailangan tiyakin ng higher education institution na ang mga estudyante na sasali sa limited face-to-face classes ay kailangan nakarehistro sa PhilHealth o may katumbas na medical insurance which covers medical expenses related to COVID-19 as either direct or indirect contributor.
Iloilo City will be joining 39 other areas under the Alert Level 1 status. Acting Presidential Spokesperson Martin Andanar has announced the de-escalation of the city starting today after it met the prescribed criteria for a lower alert level status. Iloilo City Mayor Jerry Treñas earlier appealed to de-escalate the alert level system in the city from Alert Level 2 to Alert Level 1, citing a drastic decrease in the number of COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, National Task Force Against COVID Special Medical Advisor Dr. Ted Herbosa said the IATF will review the COVID-19 situations and the vaccination coverage of areas placed under Alert Level 2.
Maganda yung sitwasyon natin at kahit nag-open up na ang National Capital Region, meron tayong mga campaign, nagkakaroon tayo ng tuloy na pagbaba ng kaso at so many days below 1,000 ang ating new cases. Ang ginawang pamantayan naman ng IATF ay meron tayong batayan na maganda, no? Criteria na maganda, 4 yon. Yung DARMO below 6, yung average daily attack rate, yung hospital utilization mo less than 50%, tapos yung vaccination rate mo mataas, above 70% of your target population, at 80% ng senior citizen o A2 na bakunahan mo na. So re-reviewin ng IATF, re-reviewin nila yung mga lugar na nasa alert level 2 kung pwede na silang ibaba sa alert level 1.
More provinces come up with ways on how to intensify their COVID-19 vaccination drive as the country kicked off its 4th round of the Bayanihan Bakunahan 3-day program. The details from Marita Mawahe.
In Bataan, more than 300 residents lined up at the covered court near the public market in Samal to get inoculated against COVID-19, while children got their free jabs at the Provincial Health Office. Walk-ins are allowed at any vaccination site in the 11 towns and 1 city of the province. Governor Albert Garcia called on the unvaccinated residents to take the opportunity to get jabbed during the 3-day national vaccination program from March 10 to 12. In Zamboanga City, the round 4 of the national vaccination base kicked off yesterday with the opening of 30 vaccination centers, including 3 mobile inoculation stations. City Health Officer Dulce Amor Miravites said the 3 mobile vaccination stations will be roving in key areas and establishments in the city. The city aims to vaccinate 15,413 individuals during the March 10 to 12 immunization drive. In Bacolod City, a maximum of 100 children are getting their initial dose of the COVID-19 vaccine per venue. The city government has put up 3 venues in various shopping malls for the 3-day national vaccination day. These are the Ayala Malls, Capital Central, SM City Bacolod, and Robinson's Place Bacolod. As of March 9, Bacolod has vaccinated some 5,180 minors in the 5 to 11 age group. And in Cebu, foreign and domestic travelers who have not been vaccinated yet against COVID-19 may avail of the free inoculation at the Mactan Cebu International Airport. The activity is in line with the Bayanihan Bakunahan National Vaccination Drive from March 10 to 12. The vaccination hub is open to individuals who have yet to get their first dose. However, those who want to have their second dose and booster jab while traveling can also avail themselves via the mobile vaccination sites. They also accommodate the pediatric population or children and teenagers aged 12 to 17. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Marita Muaje.
The Department of Budget and Management has released to the concerned agencies the 3 billion pesos for the implementation of the fuel subsidy program that aims to cushion the effects of the high cost of petroleum products. The amount includes 2.5 billion pesos for the Department of Transportation. This is for distribution to affected jeepney drivers as well as qualified drivers of UB Express, minibuses, buses, shuttle services, taxis, tricycles, and other full-time ride-hailing services. Another 500 million pesos is also released for the fuel discount program of the Department of Agriculture that would benefit farmers and fisher folks utilizing equipment that uses petroleum fuel. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, says the fuel subsidy cards will be released next week to the qualified public utility vehicle drivers and operators. Almost 80,000 fishermen stand to benefit from the government's fuel subsidy program. Agriculture Undersecretary for Agri-Industrialization and Fisheries Cheryl Marie Natividad Caballero said there are approximately 79,000 fishers duly registered in the boat registry system in BFAR and encoded into the registry system for basic sectors in agriculture. These beneficiaries will receive 3,000 pesos each through the discount cards of the Development Bank of the Philippines, or DBP, which will be distributed via regional offices. Caballero says that out of the 500 million pesos budget for the fuel subsidy program, 492.5 million pesos will be used to pay oil companies and fuel retailers participating in the program. The remaining 7.5 million pesos will go towards operational or administrative expenses. Communications Secretary and Acting Presidential Spokesperson Martin Andanar sees the need to expand the existing social amelioration program. He says this measure will provide relief to Filipinos from spiraling prices of petroleum products caused by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In an interview, Andanar says he favors the distribution of a cash subsidy but acknowledged the challenges of generating funds for the program. He also echoed the reservations made by the Department of Finance on lawmakers' calls to suspend fuel excise taxes amid the soaring oil prices. The DOF earlier expressed concern that suspending fuel excise taxes would lead to revenue loss and slow down economic recovery. Andanar said the government's economic team will make the final decision on the matter. Still to come, the poll body is expected to relax its rules on campaign rally permits amid declining COVID-19 cases. And the central bank is ready to support the government in cushioning the impact of global events to the local economy. Details ahead, keep it here on the PNA Newsroom. The COVID-19 pandemic has greatly changed our lives for the worse. Lives and jobs were lost and economies reached a meltdown. Thanks to the arrival of safe and effective vaccines, we are one step closer to normalcy. It's time to do our part, get vaccinated for our safety and for our recovery.
You are there in that community, go there and have yourself vaccinated by any of the vaccines available. They are all potent, they are all effective.
I would like to appeal to all our kababayans, please get vaccinated against COVID-19 and be the government partner in preventing further spread of the disease. I encourage you to get vaccinated as soon as possible time. These vaccines are safe and they are the key to reopening our society. The need for international solidarity and cooperation cannot be made clearer than this pandemic, because everyone is safe. No one is safe globally until everybody is safe.
Vaccines work. The Commission on Elections, or Comelec, is expected to come up with recalibrated guidelines, particularly on the issuance of rally permits during the campaign period next week. Comelec Commissioner George Erwin Garcia said he has proposed to relax the requirements of the Comelec Campaign Committee depending on an area's alert level classification. Under the current guidelines, those who are looking to hold campaign rallies are required to secure a permit 72 hours before the event. Meanwhile, the Comelec is also set to issue an advisory on the temporary restraint order issued by the Supreme Court suspending their Operation Baklas in public places. The Commission has been given 10 days to answer the petition filed by supporters of presidential candidate Vice President Leni Robredo. Maitum town in Sarangani province is now under a state of calamity due to the destruction caused by a low-pressure area that prevailed over Mindanao the past several days. The low-pressure area brought moderate to heavy rains that resulted in the overflowing of Pangi River and the destruction of at least 2,000 houses. About 200 billion pesos worth of infrastructures were also damaged, with the collapse of 3 bridges, as well as crop and livestock destruction amounting to some 50 million pesos. 15 of the town's 19 villages were severely affected by flooding, and 700 families were evacuated to safer grounds. A quick response fund worth 4.5 million pesos would be utilized for the affected families. The Department of Social Welfare and Development has also pre-petitioned nearly 25,000 family food packs to be sent to parts of eastern Visayas that are threatened with possible flooding due to heavy rains. It said the stocking of food supplies will ensure faster delivery of relief goods in case there would be severe flooding. The DSWD said it has been closely watching the weather situation in 6 provinces to guide responders where to focus their efforts. The incessant rains since March 6 were due to a low-pressure area affecting Visayas and Mindanao. Weather Bureau Pag-asa earlier said the frequent rainfall will likely prevail in eastern Visayas in the early part of March due to the northeast monsoon, or Amihan, and La Niña. Manila Water has assured its customers of continued water supply this summer. Manila Water spokesperson Jeric Sevilla Jr. said the water concessionaire continues to provide stable and reliable water supply despite Angat Dam's own supply already below the normal high operating level. He said Metro Manila's East Zone concessionaire is working closely with the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, or MWSS, and the National Water Resources Board to help ensure continuous water supply even during peak demand periods. Apart from these, Sevilla said operational adjustments are also being implemented to maximize the usage and flow of water from all available resources. While the government and the concessionaires work together to provide water this summer, the public is encouraged to use water wisely and responsibly. In our business news, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas vowed to support the national government's fiscal intervention as the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict and other global events affect the local economy. This includes the possible acceleration of the country's inflation due to disruptions in global trade and soaring oil prices. The central bank said the conflict will push upward pressures on key international commodity prices, particularly oil and wheat. It said the Ukraine-Russia war also slowed down global trade and investments. The BSP trusts the national government's fiscal interventions to cushion the economy from increased upside risks to inflation and to safeguard the momentum of economic recovery. The BSP said the social protection programs such as fuel subsidies for public transport drivers could help reduce the impacts of rising pump prices, which already rallied for 10 straight weeks. The central bank likewise supports further easing of restrictions to promote economic activities and raise market confidence. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez has welcomed the Asia-Japan Investing for the Future initiative that aims to strengthen investment cooperation in the Asian region. Speaking at the 47th ASEAN-Japan Business Meeting on Thursday, Lopez said the Japan-led initiative is expected to contribute to the post-pandemic recovery efforts of Southeast Asia. Lopez cited the need to take a collective course of action to strengthen and enhance economic cooperation. The trade chief also highlighted that Japan has been ASEAN's key trade and investment partner for the past 44 years, with economic cooperation expected to be boosted through the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Japan's Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry launched the Asia-Japan Investing for the Future initiative in January. The initiative aims to strengthen investments in the region in supply chains, connectivity, digital innovation, and human resources. It also seeks to improve the region's attractiveness as a global supply chain hub and to enhance Asia's sustainability through innovation to address social challenges. Up next, another 31 beneficiaries returned to Bicol via the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. And ready to travel, you might want to check tour packages in Eastern Visayas. We're back after a quick break. Stay with the PNA Newsroom.
Nais mo bang bumalik at magsimula ng panibagong buhay sa inyong probinsya? May solusyon dyan. Bisitahin ang balikprobinsya.ph upang mag-apply. Pero ano nga ba ang Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Program o mas kilala bilang BP2? Ang programang ito ay binuo ng gobyerno mula sa EO 114 na naglalayong matugunan ang lumulobong populasyon at pagsikip ng mga residential area sa NCR. Layunin rin ng BP2 na makapagbigay ng pantay na oportunidad sa mga Pilipinong magbabalik probinsya. Ligtas at libre kang makakabalik sa inyong probinsya sa tulong ng BP2. May kasama pang tulong pinansyal at oportunidad para makapagsimula ng pangkabuhayan. Bagong pag-asa ang hatid ng Balik Probinsya Program. Kaya naman ano pang hinihintay mo? Mag-register na sa balikprobinsya.ph.
Some 29 beneficiaries have now returned home to Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, and Naga City thanks to the government's Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa or BP2 program. The group, composed of 7 families and an individual, left on Thursday 9 p.m. after a 2-day verification and evaluation by the National Housing Authority and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. The dispatch proceedings include registration, orientation, and swab testing for COVID-19. The BP2 initially facilitated the return of some 31 individuals to Albay on Tuesday. President Rodrigo Duterte signed Executive Order number 114 on May 6, institutionalizing the Balik Probinsya program, which aims to decongest Metro Manila by helping informal settlers to return to their home provinces. Under the BP2 program, those who wish to return to their respective provinces will be provided with transportation, cash assistance, and livelihood opportunities. Those who wish to avail of the BP2 program may visit the Balik Probinsya website or call their hotline numbers. A new small-town lottery draw court has opened in Iligan City, which is expected to help stop illegal gambling and draw in more funds for the government. Claire Gighe has the story.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO, launched the Small Town Lottery or STL Draw Court in Iligan City under the supervision of the Authorized Agent Corporation or AAC Glowing Fortune. With the inauguration of the STL Draw Court, PCSO General Manager Royino Marzan Garma called on the residents of the city as well as in Lanao del Norte province to support the STL operations and assured that it is legal and will help them generate more funds for the government.
We just launched yung STL po dito sa Iligan at Lanao del Norte. Sana po tangkilikin natin to. Legal po ito na palaro at sigurado po lahat po ng mga itinataya ninyo ay mapupunta po sa mga kawang gawa na proyekto po ng ating gobyerno.
Garma also reminded the public that there are only 4 games that are authorized in Iligan and even in Northern Mindanao. These are Lotto, Keno, Scratch It, and STL. According to her, any companies claiming that they have been approved by PCSO to operate are illegal. Glowing Fortune Operational Manager Jonathan Campolio also said that as part of their corporate responsibility, they are committed to ensuring integrity not just in STL but also in their operations.
We commit as part of our corporate social responsibility to continued cooperation and collaboration in ensuring the integrity, not just our giving product, but our operation.
The Criminal Investigation and Detection Group or CIDG, on the other hand, also guaranteed intensified initiative in preventing the presence of unlawful operations in the area.
We are continuing our efforts to, if not eliminate, to minimize the existence of illegal gambling. Much more that we have now the STL.
For PNA Newsroom, Claire Gigha of the Philippine Information Agency, Iligan City and Lanao del Norte.
Government troops have extended support to the indigenous people's community in Barangay Bayanihan, Maria Aurora Town in Aurora Province under the Provincial Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. Troops of the Army's 91st Infantry Battalion plant some 100 coconut saplings for the Bugkalot IP community of Barangay Bayanihan in partnership with the Philippine Coconut Authority and National Commission on Indigenous Peoples. The activity aims to provide sustainable livelihood to the Bugkalot tribe and at the same time increase the province's coconut production. Lieutenant Colonel Reandro Rubio, commander of the 91 IB, said the activity was in line with the unit's sustainment efforts in areas cleared from the communist terrorist group. Meanwhile, the Army's 102nd Infantry Brigade is closely monitoring the implementation of 108 Barangay Development Program projects in areas cleared from the influence of the New People's Army. Brigadier General Lionel Nicolas, the 102nd Brigade commander, said the BDP projects are located in 82 beneficiary barangays in the Zamboanga Peninsula and Misamis Occidental. Nicolas said these projects are vital in providing long-term solutions in addressing the root causes of the insurgency. Also, joint military and police forces are deployed in Sergio Osmeña Sr., Zamboanga del Norte to protect cleared barangays from possible recovery efforts of the NPA. Barangays Bagumbayan and Nazareth were both beneficiaries of the 20 million peso BDP fund through the efforts of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAC. In the Bicol region, the Commission on Population found ways to carry out a host of activities that raise awareness on teenage pregnancy and reproductive health amid the pandemic. Popcom Bicol Information Officer Nina Albi Morallo said they debuted with a youth webinar series on teen pregnancy called Aramon Nimo last March 8. The Social Protection Program for Adolescent Mothers and Their Children workshop will be held to determine the state of teenage pregnancies in different areas in the region. Morallo said the towns of Buhi, Nabua, and Iriga City in Camarines Sur are eyed as venues for the said event. Meanwhile, U4U is a teen caravan focusing on adolescent sexual and reproductive health and the prevention of teen pregnancy among children. According to the Popcom, over 11,000 teenage pregnancies were recorded in Bicol in 2019. Tour operators and management of market-ready tourism sites in Eastern Visayas are set to meet and come up with new tour packages in anticipation of increasing tourist arrival in the region. The business-to-business or B2B session will be held on March 26 at Summit Hotel in Tacloban City. Department of Tourism Regional Director Karena Rosa Tiope said the event is expected to create new or updated tour packages for the region's market-ready destinations. Among the region's popular destinations are Calangaman Island, San Juanico Bridge, Leyte Landing Memorial in Leyte, Calicoan Island in eastern Samar, and Biri Rock Formations in northern Samar, among others. For its part, the DOT is hoping the Philippines could reopen its doors to more foreign tourists by April of this year. Currently, only fully vaccinated foreign leisure travelers from visa-free countries are allowed to enter the Philippines. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat said the recommendation to limit leisure travelers for visa-free countries, an easing of restriction that started last February 10, came from the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA. From February 10 to March 8, the DOT has recorded 73,000 tourists, mostly from South Korea, the United States, Canada, Australia, Germany, Vietnam, and Japan. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The government allows limited face-to-face classes in higher education institutions in areas under Alert Level 1, subject to certain rules, as part of measures to ensure learning continuity amid the shift to the new normal. A sigh of relief, the Department of Budget and Management releases 3 billion pesos for fuel subsidies for the transport and agriculture sector to help cushion the impact of surging fuel prices. The Commission on Elections is set to recalibrate its rules on securing campaign rally permits amid clamors of candidates and the country's improving COVID-19 situation. And the Tourism Department is hopeful that the country will reopen to foreign tourists, citing the gains of the decision to welcome fully vaccinated tourists in February. As Filipinos, we all have a vital role to play in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So remember, wear your face masks and face shields, wash your hands often, practice safe physical distancing, go out only for essential reasons, and get vaccinated as soon as possible to protect ourselves, our families, and the community. Together, we can beat COVID-19. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, check our webpage or log on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, we tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day and happy weekend, everyone.